What's up, guys? My name is Silent Sanity, and welcome back to Minecraft. It's actually been quite a bit since I've last played this game, and as of late, like this last past week, I've actually been kinda inactive on my channel. I think I uploaded maybe 5 videos in the last week, and it's a bit low on my standard, but I don't know, I've been kinda busy, so I haven't gotten a chance to really do much of anything. And since I finally updated to 1.2.4, I decided I wanted to make a quick series type thing encompassed around the jungles, which is kind of like what I did with the beaches, but I mean the beaches wasn't even like it was a big thing. It was just sand on the edges of islands and stuff to make it look like a natural beach, but that didn't turn out to be exactly what I had wanted. But with this, basically what I want to do is find a jungle and tame at least 4 cats and maybe build a treehouse, and that's basically all I want to do. But hopefully I can find a jungle. I'm gonna pray that I spawn near one, because I really don't want to have to use a random seed I find off the internet, because those are kind of... I've dug around and I've looked at image. Oh my... You've got to be kidding me. Look at this. Holy poop. Holy poop. I got a jungle on the freaking first... Sweet. Sweet baby Jesus. This is awesome. Alright, well, never mind. I was gonna go on to say that a lot of the seeds and seed snapshots that I've looked up on the internet, they kind of look poopy. Like this one I found earlier, it was like a mushroom biome with a jungle like right next to it, which is kind of cool because, I mean, mushroom biomes are pretty rare, so I mean, hey. But the jungle itself wasn't that great. This one is pretty nice. And I don't know, hopefully I can find some ocelots, because I want to get that. That's basically pretty much going to be the end of the series as soon as I get the 4th cat. And there's actually one right over there, but I can't zoom in because I don't have any of my mods yet. So this is actually going to be a vanilla series unless I decide to try and find an updated version of Optifine, because Optifine seriously does help a lot. I mean, it's just primarily because the processor I have is just not the greatest, and I mean, I have my graphics card installed, but it's just, I think I actually have fog up to high, so yeah, let's turn that down a bit. But anywho, I do need a better processor, because I am using an Intel dual core processor, and that's like 4 point something gigahertz, like the combined. I think it's 2.7 each, so I'd correct me if I'm wrong, but I guess it'd be like 5.4 overall processor speed, but that's not that great. I don't know. I want to upgrade my computer a bit, but that would mean me having to buy a new motherboard, because the motherboard I have is only able to support similar CPUs like the Intel Core Dual and like Pentium Dual, and those aren't that great. So if I want something like the i7 or the i5, I would have to get a completely different motherboard, and that's not something I am looking forward to doing, because I mean, it's quite a bit of money, and it's basically like paying for an entire new computer. And had I known that I wanted to do this 4 years ago, I may have gotten myself a decent computer, like built myself a decent computer right off the bat, because that honestly is the cheapest way of going. Cause say you buy a computer, and I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say like the average computer price is like $500, $600. Okay, so that's $600, and that's gonna have stock components and stuff. I mean, unless you get one that already has like an i5 in it, but more than likely it doesn't. But say you buy that, and then a couple of months or so down the line you decide, hey, I want to start upgrading my computer. And then you do your research, and the next thing you know, the motherboard you have doesn't support the CPU that you have, or the CPU that you want. Next thing you know, it doesn't even have like a PCI Express 16 or whatever that most graphic cards need. So guess what? Now you need a new motherboard, and that's basically an entire new computer, and more than likely you're already looking at $200 or $100 to $200 right there alone for the motherboard. So now you are up to, I think I said $500 for the base, so now you're up to $700 that you're gonna have to spend. And then from there, you're going to want to find a processor that is fitting. And I mean, just depends on what you want, depends on how fast you want it, depends on what brand. But most people seem to like Intel i5s and i7s, and depending on what you're wanting to do, if you're going to be doing hardcore gaming or crazy tons of rendering with videos and stuff, you're going to want more than likely an i7. But i7s, those are about $300 to $400 depending on where you buy them. So you're already up to $1,000, and you still need your graphics card. You may need a heatsink or a PC or CPU fan, and then you're also going to need another power supply unit, because most computers come with the cheapest ones that they can get away with putting in your computer and it not being like a hazard to your health. And PCUs are not that expensive, but yet again, it depends primarily on what you want. More than likely, you may need just a like 700 watt PSU. And sorry if I said PCU, I may have said that, but power supply unit is PSU. And you may need maybe 700 at the most. Right now, I think I'm using a 600. I'm not sure, but the one that I have cost me like, I want to say roughly $80 or $120. So you're already at $1,200, $1,000. I don't know. I'm already losing count, but you see the point. If you just build your computer from scratch at the beginning, motherboard 150, CPU 300, and half the time actually you can find like motherboard CPU combos like Intel i7s with a specific motherboard that supports like DDR3 RAM and has all the basic things that you need, like the right amount of PCI Express chips and stuff and all that. So like there's a combo that I wanted that was I think $500, and that actually came with the RAM, which is another thing you would end up having to buy if you wanted to upgrade your stock $500 computer. So yep, so you would have to, it's just cheaper to just kind of build your computer from scratch rather than buying something and then upgrading it bit by bit. It really is cheaper, and I wish I had kind of known that. I mean, 4 years ago, I don't even think i7 existed, but stuff like the AMD Athlon, which is pretty much your second best bet, and it's a bit cheaper than the Intels and stuff, but I don't know. I've been mumbling about that for far too long, and I don't even remember. Ooh, an apple. I don't even remember what it was that made me talk about that. I think it was me complaining about my CPU. Pretty sure that's what it was, but if I do want to upgrade, that just means having to put a lot of money on the table, and I don't know. I mean, 80 subs is an awesome number, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to invest so much into my channel when it may not even be something that I would be doing in another couple months or so, because it just depends on how things go. If my channel grows, then of course I'll put more money into my computer so I can, put out better content for you guys and stuff. And I mean, I think the content's okay, but like, so I can, like right now I have like, excuse me, right now I have, ooh, that chicken just popped out an egg. Holy shit, that was really loud. But right now how I'm playing with like the fast settings and stuff, the trees aren't that appealing. So if I got a better computer, I would be able to run fancy settings and the game would look nicer. Let's just do a test run with fancy graphics.